Among the releases last week was WWE official, WWE referee Drake Wuertz, who is a very controversial figure in the wrestling business right now. He's a very interesting story. He was a former indie deathmatch wrestler. He got injured along the way, fell into some bad habits. He got sober, landed as a ref in WWE. Everyone thought he put his life around. He turned his life around. He was doing great. And then in the past year or so, a lot of problems have arisen with Drake Wuertz. And it's a long list, so bear with me. He skipped NXT shows to go to local school board meetings advocating against masks in school for kids. Several times he made talent of color uncomfortable or unsafe around him, and by what he said and the way he said it, and sometimes people felt unsafe because they felt he was a threat to them. Critical of wrestlers getting vaccinated, even for the flu shot. This is not just the vaccine that's going around, the COVID vaccine. This is the flu shot. There were incidents where Wuertz and Ezra Judge, actually, who was also released in this round of releases, had to be separated after a physical altercation. And Ezra Judge, as many of you may know, is an African-American. He's a person of color. There was nuclear heat on him for refusing to wear a mask backstage during the worst of the pandemic. And this is right before one of the big breakouts in the Performance Center. Last year, Wuertz apparently walked out of NXT In Your House, the pay-per-view event, after becoming irate at the company meeting led by Triple H, where Triple H addressed Black Lives Matter and inclusion. And big part of that things coming out of this meeting was Wuertz was said to be very upset when, quote, tolerance of all religions was mentioned. He became visibly angry, gathered his belongings, and stormed out of the event. So Trevor, this is not the type of guy you probably want to go get drinks with. This is probably not the type of guy anyone wants to, hang out with, it seems. And he caused a lot of problems backstage. What do you make of this? Not just the release, but some of the behavior here, and what this probably was like for talent backstage.
Like, I wonder. It's one of those things when you hear something like this, you wonder why he was around for so long, because this couldn't have been something new. This couldn't have been just something that he just did like on the whim. It had to be telltale signs of this from the get-go. Like I just don't get it. Like, you have your beliefs, okay, I get that, but why take it out on everyone else? Okay, You don't like them, fine. You don't like, you obviously have issue with African Americans. Okay, cool, whatever. But that doesn't mean you have to visibly do it, especially at your place of work. You're not that big, dude. You're just a cog. Get the fuck out. It's easy. You know what I mean? Like, it had to be incredibly uncomfortable for the talent, And I'm amazed that if he was after African American males, I wonder if did he like say anything negative to females too? Because this kind of guy sounds like he's more than just racist. Like, he might be misogynist too, Yeah,
I mean, he's the type of the whole women belong in the kitchen type deal, probably.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seems like to me.
I can't confirm that. We can't confirm that, obviously.
Yeah, no. This is just speculation, guys.
That's speculation. But however, but everything we said before is 100% confirmed by multiple sources. So that being said, I do think, like you said, all of this stuff is terrible. Like, you can have your political beliefs, right? Like, and a lot of this stuff, I think goes beyond politics, but we're not going to get into the nitty gritty of that. But right. You can have your beliefs. You can have your political beliefs. But once you go against company policy, once you go and make your fellow employees, your fellow workers upset, once you go out of your way to make them feel unsafe, that's a problem. And at the end of the day, it's not up to them to fix themselves and agree with you. It's up to you to be tolerant. And exactly. The big thing that I took away from this, man, was he walked out when Triple H was having this meeting. And fair enough, Black Lives Matter, all right. There's a weird stigma about it, whatever. He walked out when Triple H mentioned tolerance of all religions. that is a basic tenet for anyone who believes in the Constitution. And apparently, you know,
Right.
people like him allegedly believe in the Constitution, even though they go out of their way to try to destroy it. But tolerance of all religions is like a basic thing. You have to be tolerant. And he got visibly angry, visibly upset, and he walked out of there. And you know what that shows? He doesn't want to be tolerant. He does not want to change. And when you have somebody who's making talent uncomfortable, when you have somebody who's walking out of meetings that Triple H is leading, by the way, this is a company meeting that the COO or whatever his real title is, I think he might be like live events or something. Either way, a chief executive of the company is leading, and a respected member of the locker room, the head of NXT, is leading, and you walk out, you storm out like a child. I'm surprised it wasn't over right then and there.
It should have been gone.
He doesn't wear a mask at all backstage, and then there's multiple. Like, we're wondering why NXT had multiple COVID not violations but outbreaks, like huge outbreaks that almost led to them not being able to tape shows. This probably plays into it, this type of mentality. And, you know, this isn't just a thing, like, you know, he's also not the only one who's done stuff like this. Like, one name who actually is very close to Triple H, which I think might be a reason why Drake Wuertz wasn't fired after that meeting, after he stormed out of that meeting, Road Dogg. Road Dogg, he shares a lot of Drake Wuertz's beliefs, it seems. He shared a lot of Drake Wuertz's very controversial views on Facebook. You know, like there's proof of that. You guys can go look it up. And, you know, I think at the end of the day, it was one of those things where I think enough talent were just over it that they might have had a mutiny on their hands. Especially like he's supposed to be an official who's in the ring taking care of people. He's supposed to be in there if people get injured, and he's showing a sense that he doesn't tolerate people for their beliefs. He doesn't tolerate people for who they are. That's a problem. And you know, and sometimes people can overcome these prejudices they have, right? So like there are times people can. This is someone who didn't even want to attempt to. So good riddance. Drake Wuertz should have nothing to do with the wrestling business. He's apparently making calls around to the indies, and nobody wants to hire him, and probably for a good reason. I wouldn't
touch him. I wouldn't touch him with 10-foot pole.
Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Like I said, it's one thing. It's one thing to have your political beliefs. It's a completely other thing to go out of your way to harass talent, to harass your fellow coworkers.
Well, my thing, like I said before, like what makes you think you're a referee? What makes you think you're that important that they won't get your ass up out of there? You know what I mean? Like, you are not important enough to keep. You're harassing talent. You're making people feel uncomfortable. You walk out on your boss's, spiel while he's meeting. Like, dude, get the fuck. Like, he should have kicked rocks a long time ago.
Yeah. Good riddance, Drake Wuertz. The wrestling business is better without you. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.